In this video, we're going to be talking about releasing responsibility so that you can do only what you can do while also not having your team hate you for it. Hey, what's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name's Alex Suber, and I want to help you grow in your faith, your life, and your leadership. I make content for those three areas, and I hope that you can grow in one of them, if not all of them. Today, we're going to be talking about life and leadership. We're going to be talking about passing off responsibility, because if you are doing anything in life, you have responsibilities. You have things that you have to take care of, things that are on your plate. But as you grow in life and as you grow as a leader, you're going to get to the point where there are things that, yes, you are responsible for them, but in order for you to take care of things that only you can take care of, you need to pass off those responsibilities to someone else. Now, maybe you've already experienced this before, maybe you've done this before, but if you're anything like me, when I first started out in leadership, I was not very good at this. I would pass off responsibility to people, but I would do it in a really crude way, in a very bulky way, in a way that wasn't clear, a way where people didn't understand what they were supposed to be doing or how they were supposed to do it. And what that led to is me being frustrated with that person, with that team member, with that employee, whatever it may be. But then it also led to them being frustrated because I was giving them things without clear expectations, and it was making it almost impossible for them to accomplish the task that I had entrusted to them. Even if they wanted to, even if they had a good heart, even if they had training, because I had not released that responsibility in the proper way, it set both of us up for frustration and failure. So I want to share with you 4 different levels of releasing responsibility. The first level is not really number 1, because we're going to be going from 1 to 4, 1 being the worst, 4 being the best, but really number 1 should almost kind of be a negative 1, because the first level of releasing responsibility is not releasing responsibility. It's doing everything yourself. If you're doing everything yourself, you may be called a leader, but really practically you're not necessarily leading anyone other than yourself. And I'm going to be honest, this is where I was for a lot of years, because it's easy to do everything yourself. You know your schedule, you know how you can get things done, you know what you're good at, what you're bad at, you can stay up late, you can wake up early, you can just do it all yourself. And sometimes it's easier and it feels easier to do things yourself instead of bringing other people in so that you can release that responsibility to them. The danger is you're going to reach a point, if you haven't reached it already, where you cannot physically, emotionally, mentally do all that is in your heart to do, all that you're responsible for. There's going to reach a point where you can't stay up any later, you can't wake up any earlier, you don't have the finances, you don't have the resources, you don't have the creative skills, you just can't do it all yourself anymore. So what are you going to do then when you can't do anything else and you only have yourself, it's only you on the team, you're only leading yourself? You have now put a lid on the growth of your ministry, your organization, your church, your business, whatever it may be. And practically, you can't take on any more people, any more sales, any more accounts, whatever it may be, whatever the goal is for you, you can't take on any more responsibility because it's only you and you have reached the end of yourself. And so really, the reason I said this is a negative 1 is because you are not really releasing anything and you are capping yourself. You are capping your organization. And so by doing everything yourself, you are limiting yourself and you are really holding yourself back from all that you could really holding yourself back from all that you could accomplish. By doing it all yourself, you're really holding yourself back from all that you could be doing, all the people you could be reaching, and all the things that you could be accomplishing. So the next level is really where you want to start. Hopefully you're not doing it all yourself, but let's get into the next level where we bring some people on the team with us. This second level, and again, this isn't the best level, we're getting to that in just a few moments, stick around, but this next level is what I call dumping. Dumping, if you think about it, if you think about trash in your home or in your business, whatever it may be, Maybe you've gone to a city dump before or a landfill, or maybe you just have some people pick it up. But essentially what you're doing when you are dumping something in a landfill is you are taking all of your junk, all the stuff that you don't want, that's just crap, that's dirty, that's old, whatever, and you are giving it to someone else. And you're just saying, I just want this out of sight, out of mind, take it over there, do something with it. I don't want to deal with it. And so what happens is we will, in our leadership, take things that we don't want, that we don't like, the crap of our organization, of our business, or whatever it may be, and we will dump that onto someone else without even really realizing where it's going or how it's going to be handled. Because think about it. Have you ever really thought about what's happening to your trash? No. As soon as it's picked up from the curbside, or as soon as you throw it in the dumpster, whatever it may be, as soon as it's out of sight, out of mind, you don't think about it anymore. And so what we do as leaders oftentimes is we will dump things on people, and as long as it's not in front of us anymore, we don't really care about what's happening. But the problem is we are not empowering the person to do something that they really want to do. That person is going to begin to get frustrated because no matter how much you appreciate them or pay them or whatever, you're still dumping junk on them. You're still giving them the nasty leftover stuff that you don't want to do. And it's not really playing to their strengths or to their skills or to their personality or what they want to do. It's just, hey, I don't want to do this. So you take it, get it out of sight, out of mind, deal with it. And so this, in a really practical sense, can start to be frustrating for your team members, and they can start to get frustrated with you because you are not really giving them much responsibility. You're really not bringing them in on the big idea and the vision and the culture and the goals. You're really just giving all the bad things and saying, hey, take care of this. Do something with this. And nobody likes going to a trash dump. No one loves the smell of junk. And I know maybe that translation or that illustration starts to break down after a little bit, but no one wants to deal with your junk. And I know it's like maybe they work for you, they're an assistant, whatever, they have to do some things that not everybody would want to do. And that's fine sometimes. But if you're constantly dumping on a team member, on an employee, on a volunteer, whatever it may be, they're going to get burned out, they're going to get tired, and they're going to get frustrated. So you can't just say, hey, take this, go do something with it, just get it out of my sight, because you're not giving them any instruction. You're not telling them what you want them to accomplish. You're just saying, hey, I don't want to do this, and I want you to do it. And so essentially what you're saying is my time's more important than yours. I'm more important than you. I have better ideas than you, and maybe that's true, but that's not what you want to. That's not what you want to communicate to the person that is serving with you, that's on your team, whatever it may be. And so the second level of passing off responsibility, even though it's not really great, is what I call dumping. Now let's move on to the third one. And the third one is really where I think a lot of people stop. Now again, we have 4 levels, so I want you to stick around to the end, what I believe is the best level. But a lot of us think that this is the ultimate goal, and this is what we all call delegating. And now we're getting somewhere if you are on a team and you are starting to delegate, if you are starting to pass things off, if you are starting to give someone a responsibility. And the definition of delegating is essentially entrusting someone with a responsibility. Now, when you dump something on someone, usually that's just a task. It's like, hey, get this done, check it off the list. But when you delegate something, it's really a bigger responsibility usually. Usually it's a bigger project, it's more long-term, it takes more creative thinking, whatever it may be. And so you are trusting them, and you are saying, hey, I trust you with this thing that, I am ultimately going to be responsible for because I am the leader. But I'm going to entrust you with your education and your personality and your schedule. I believe and I trust that you can handle this. The second definition of delegation is a delegate that goes on someone's behalf. And so if you are delegating something to someone, you are giving them authority on your behalf. You are giving them money on your behalf. You are giving them recognition on your behalf. And you may be sending them somewhere, sending them to a meeting, sending them on a trip, sending them to a conference, sending them on a sales call, whatever it may be. You are sending them with your authority, and you are saying, I am trusting you to do what I believe that you can do. And true delegation is going to be very clear. Now, this is what we talked about just a few moments ago. When you are doing it all yourself or when you are dumping things on people, you're not really giving a lot of clarity of what you want to get done. You're just saying, hey, get this done, accomplish it. I don't care about it anymore. But true delegation is explaining to someone, here's exactly the goal that I want. Here's the budget. Here's the framework. Here's the things that you can operate inside of. These are the things that you have authority to create ideas and solutions for. These are the areas that I want you to ask me about. That's true delegation. But here's the thing. There's a mutual respect. When you are delegating something to someone, you are respecting them enough to saying, I trust and respect you to speak on my behalf, to do things on my behalf. I want your input. I want your feedback. But ultimately, I am giving you this task and I am asking you to accomplish this for me. So that's delegation. You are actually giving some people real responsibility now. You're not just deciding for them and then dumping it on them, but you are letting them decide some things, to make some plans. You're not micromanaging, you're releasing them. The fourth level is the highest level, the best level, and I think most of us are only going to do this a few times in our life. Most of us, our interactions in our business, in our church, in our leadership, we're going to be delegating to a lot of people, and that's great. That's awesome. But the highest level is what I call duplicating yourself. And you're probably only going to do this with a few people because it takes so much time, takes so much energy, and it takes so much trust. So what's the difference between delegating and duplicating? Well, when you are delegating someone, you are sending them, but they are still going on your behalf. They're still going under your authority. They're still going with your money, with your credit card, with your business name, whatever it may be. So they are still attached to you, even though they're going and they may have the authority to make decisions and make sales or to buy things. They're still attached to you. But when you duplicate yourself, you are moving someone from being a subordinate or someone that is attached to you and gets their credibility and their authority from you. And now you have duplicated yourself to where now you're on the same level with someone and you are no longer giving them authority, but they are standing on their own authority. It's not just trusting someone to have authority on your behalf, but it's trusting someone to have as much authority as you. Think about that for a moment. A lot of us will let people have authority as long as we are in control. But when you duplicate yourself, you are actually saying, hey, now you have as much authority as me. Now you have as much power as me. And depending on in your organization, maybe once you duplicate yourself, you're promoted. And so you do have more power than them again, or maybe you move to another organization or another church campus, whatever it may be. There's a lot of nuances, but essentially you are getting them to the same, where they have the same level of thinking, they have the same level of authority, they have the same access to resources, they have the same respect from the team, the same as you. And so when you duplicate yourself, this is the highest level of releasing responsibility because you're really not in the picture anymore. You have almost not released a person. Instead of releasing them to do things, you've now released yourself from the situation. You're saying, okay, I am now releasing myself from this responsibility because you have the authority, the power, the resources, whatever you may need to accomplish this goal, to accomplish this task, to run this business, whatever it may be. And the last thing I'll say about duplicating as we're coming to the end of this video is duplicating is not just telling people what to do. It's not just saying, okay, hey, if you want to be me, then you need to do this X, Y, and Z. You need to act this way. You need to talk this way, whatever it may be. You need to show up at this position, however you would define that for your role, for your position. It's not just telling them what to do. It's actually explaining your thinking behind it. Okay, this is how I think about these situations. This is how I react to these situations. This is why I say that in those type of situations, or this is why I run a meeting in this way. And so you're not just telling them, hey, run a meeting like me. You're actually explaining to them the process behind it of saying, okay, this is why I run a meeting this way. This is why I budget things this way. This is the way that I perceive the world. And so you are not only duplicating your role, you're not only duplicating someone to do tasks for you, but you are actually duplicating your mindset in the way that you see the world. And that's ultimately where you're going to be able to step away. And now that you have duplicated yourself, you can move into something else. You can say, okay, I'm going to elevate myself, or I'm going to go into a different area, a different field, or I'm going to be able to spend more time on a small focused area of things that only I can do, because now you have released someone, you've built them up to where they can run it without you even being in the room, without you even being in the process. They are going to run it because you have duplicated yourself, and they're not going to do it in a way that frustrates you because you have explained to them the thinking, the way that you like it done, the way that you've done it before, the way that works. And so you're actually both going to be very happy and not get frustrated with each other, because you're both going to be stepping into what you feel led to do, what you feel called to do, and you're going to have the authority and the resources to do it, and not butt heads and constantly be seeing, okay, well, can I do this or can I do that? No. You're going to be able to run together because you have duplicated yourself and released that person. So just a quick recap, the 4 levels of releasing responsibility. Number 1, again, is not really releasing, but it's doing everything yourself. You don't have a team, you don't have anyone, you're just accomplishing it yourself, but you're going to limit how much you can do because it's only you and you have finite resources. The second level is dumping things, which means you are taking all the junk that you don't want and you don't like, and you're not necessarily giving it to someone to do anything creative or to build anything. You're just saying, hey, get this out of the way. I don't want to do this anymore. And that's going to frustrate them because they're not going to feel empowered or feel like they're doing anything important. The third level is what many of us reach with most of our employees, our team members, our volunteers, is delegating. And this is when you say, I am giving you authority on my behalf to go to that church service, to go to that business meeting, to go to that sales call, whatever it may be. You are operating under my authority. Now, this can be a great relationship because they have responsibility, they have authority, they can make decisions, but yet they are still covered and protected by you. And then the last one, which is the ultimate that most of us will only reach a few times in our life, is actually duplicating ourselves to where someone doesn't just do things for us. They don't just do things from under our authority, but we actually raise them to the point where they have their own authority and they can go out independent from me as a leader and do incredible things with their life, incredible things with their team. And maybe that seems scary to you. You're like, I don't want to lose someone, but trust me, it is the greatest level of leadership to be able to release someone and say, go and do all that God has called you to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you grow in your life and in your leadership. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment and liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and hitting the bell notification, that's actually going to help me reach more people. If you know anything about YouTube, you know that the algorithm is a big deal, and the more people that like this video and comment on this video, it will show YouTube that, hey, this is something important, this is something that people need to see. And so if you enjoyed this, you can actually help more people see it by commenting on this video. Let me know what you think. I always say, if you want to argue with me, that's totally fine. Drop something in the comments, but it'd be super, super helpful for me if you would just take a few moments and do that. Also, follow me on social media. I would love to connect with you on there. I'm always on Instagram and posting a lot of great content there. So stick around. There should be a few videos that pop up right now that you can continue to watch more of my content. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.